Music the World Stole. Hey, welcome to My Blackness 100, the channel where we celebrate Black brilliance, Black power, and the global legacy of our culture. If you're passionate about truth, excellence, and reclaiming the narratives that shaped the world, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because what we're about to uncover is nothing short of revolutionary. Let me ask you this. What do rock and roll, hip-hop, jazz, blues, and even Latin music all have in common? The answer? Black ingenuity. From the pulsing rhythms of house and techno to the soul-stirring power of gospel, Black musicians didn't just influence music. We invented the blueprint. Our sound is in the DNA of every genre that moves the world. Yet too often, our contributions are erased, repackaged, or forgotten. Not this time. Not on our watch. In this video, we're traveling across continents and through centuries, from the shores of the Caribbean to the heart of Brazil, from the brass bands of New Orleans to the underground clubs of Chicago, to uncover how African rhythms and Black genius shaped the global soundtrack we all dance to today. By the end of this video, you won't just hear music differently, you'll understand your power in it. Let's set the record straight. Let's get started. Imagine a world without hip-hop, without soul, without the rhythm that moves your spirit or the lyrics that speak your truth. Hard to picture, right? What if I told you that nearly every genre that fuels your playlist today was born from the genius of Black musicians? Welcome to My Blackness 100, where we uncover the hidden legacy behind the world's most powerful music. Hit subscribe, turn on those notifications, and get ready, because this episode will change how you hear music forever. 1. Blues, the foundation of modern music. Let's start at the root, the blues. Now picture this. The cotton fields of the Deep South, a steel guitar crying under the pressure of hard labor, and voices singing sorrow, hope, and resistance. This wasn't just music, it was a survival strategy. The blues was born from the spirituals and work songs of enslaved Africans. It captured heartbreak, joy, injustice, and resilience in a way no other genre had. Artists like Robert Johnson, B.B. King, and Muddy Waters didn't just play music, they channeled emotion. Their songs spoke of lost love and backbreaking work, but also of perseverance and soul. But here's the twist. Blues didn't stay hidden in the Black community. It crossed borders, broke barriers, and reshaped the global soundscape. Sister Rosetta Tharpe laid down electric riffs that directly inspired early rock legends. Chuck Berry took the blues and ran with it, straight into the birth of rock and roll. Today, from Adele's ballads to guitar solos in pop hits, the DNA of the blues still pulses in every note. If modern music were a tree, the blues would be its roots, deep, strong, and undeniably Black. 2. Jazz, the sound of genius and freedom. Close your eyes. You're in a smoky bar in 1920s New Orleans. A trumpet screams, a saxophone dances, and time stands still. That's jazz, the music of improvisation, liberation, and soul. Created by Black artists like Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington, and Charlie Parker, jazz was the first genre to say, there are no rules, only freedom. It blended ragtime, blues, gospel, and African rhythms into a new musical language. Louis gave us swing and scatting, Duke brought elegance and orchestral vision, and Parker, aka Bird, blew open the doors with bebop, turning every solo into a philosophical statement. But jazz wasn't just for the ears. It was a social revolution. In a time of segregation, jazz clubs became rare spaces where Black and white audiences came together. It challenged racism by proving Black brilliance couldn't be denied. Without jazz, there'd be no R&B, no funk, no hip-hop. It taught us to improvise and to innovate, and that legacy continues today in artists like Kamasi Washington, Robert Glasper, and Esperanza Spalding, who carry that improvisational flame into the future. 3. Rock and roll, the sound of rebellion. When you think of rock and roll, names like Elvis or the Beatles might pop up. But let's rewind the tape. The true architects of rock were Black trailblazers who transformed pain into power. Chuck Berry made guitars talk. His riffs became the blueprint. Little Richard exploded onto the scene with flamboyance and fire. And let's never forget Sister Rosetta Tharpe, the original rock star with gospel roots and a shredding electric guitar. Yet, despite laying the foundation, these pioneers were often sidelined while white artists capitalized on their sound. But black rock didn't die, it evolved. Jimi Hendrix turned feedback into an art form. Today, bands like Gary Clark Jr., Fantastic Negrito, and the Black Tones are reclaiming rock's black roots. Rock is rebellion. It's the shout, the scream, the spark that ignites change, and that fire? It came from us. 4. Hip-hop, the voice of the streets. Now, fast forward to the 1970s Bronx, graffiti on the walls, breakdancers spinning, turntables spinning faster. This is where hip-hop was born, not in a studio, but on the concrete. DJ Kool Herc broke new ground with breakbeats. Africa Bambaataa turned sound into social movement. Grandmaster Flash made scratching an art. Then came the MCs, Rakim, KRS-One, Public Enemy, dropping bars that hit harder than fists. Hip-hop told raw, unfiltered stories from a side of life the mainstream tried to ignore. It gave power to the voiceless. And it hasn't slowed down since. From Tupac and Beggie to Nas, Jay-Z, and Kendrick Lamar, hip-hop continues to evolve. It's fashion, it's activism, it's education, it's black history written in rhyme. Hip-hop is not a trend, it's a cultural revolution. One beat, one lyric, one truth at a time. 5. Reggae, the rhythm of resistance. Feel that rhythm? That's reggae, steady, spiritual, and defiant. Born in Jamaica, this genre became the voice of the oppressed. Bob Marley didn't just sing, he preached. His lyrics were scripture for freedom fighters. Peter Tosh and Burning Spear transformed rhythms into resistance, singing truth to power through every bass line. Reggae ignited revolutions. It inspired liberation movements across Africa. It influenced hip-hop's conscious lyrics. It even crept into pop, rock, and R&B. Today, the movement lives on through artists like Chronix, Coffee, and Damian Marley, who blend tradition with innovation. Reggae isn't just music, it's a philosophy, a call to unity, justice, and black power wrapped in rhythm. 6. Afrobeat, the sound of African pride. Enter Afrobeat. Not just a sound, but a spiritual, cultural, and political force. At its helm was Fela Kuti, the Nigerian icon who combined jazz, funk, traditional rhythms, and protest into something explosive. Afrobeat challenged dictators and lit up dance floors. Tony Allen, his drummer, created polyrhythms so complex they felt like spells. Today, Fela's torch is carried by Burna Boy, Wizkid, Tiwa Savage, and a new generation of Afrobeat stars blending pride with pop. But even as the genre goes global, its roots are planted in revolution and rhythm. Every time you move to that beat, you're echoing a continent's heartbeat and honoring its genius. 7. Gospel, the soul of spiritual music. From slave fields to church choirs, gospel has always been our sanctuary. This wasn't just church music, it was our fight song. Mahalia Jackson's voice could part heavens. Thomas A. Dorsey gave us modern gospel, turning pain into praise. Songs like Precious Lord weren't just hymns, they were healing. And gospel's influence didn't stay in pews. It birthed soul, influenced rock, and powered hip-hop. Think Aretha Franklin, Sam Cooke, Kirk Franklin. They brought the church to the world stage. Today, gospel still leads. Tasha Cobbs, Travis Green, Maverick City Music, they prove the spirit of gospel is alive and rising. Because gospel doesn't just lift voices, it lifts people. 8. R&B and soul, the emotion in music. Now, if music had a heart, it would beat in R&B and soul. It's the soundtrack to love, loss, hope, and healing. Ray Charles fused gospel and blues into something sacred. Sam Cooke gave us the anthem of a movement. Aretha Franklin demanded R.E.S.P.C.T. and Marvin Gaye asked, "What's going on?" These weren't just songs, they were emotions turned into melody. Today, Beyoncé, Usher, her, and Jasmine Sullivan keep the genre alive, blending smooth vocals with storytelling that cuts deep. R&B is how we feel. Soul is how we remember. And Black artists have always been the heart behind both. 9. House and techno. Black innovation in electronic music. Think electronic music came from Europe? Think again. House was born in Chicago, techno in Detroit, and both came from Black communities. Frankie Knuckles, the godfather of house, built dance floors that felt like church. Juan Atkins, Derek May, and Kevin Saunderson crafted techno with machines, vision, and soul. These weren't just genres, they were safe spaces for the marginalized, Black, queer, and underground. Today, global festivals thrive on what Black artists started. From K-Tronada to Black coffee, house and techno are returning to their roots. So when that beat drops, remember, it started in our basements, and now it moves the world. 10. Latin and Caribbean music, African rhythms at the core. Salsa, samba, reggaeton. What do they all have in common? African rhythm. When enslaved Africans were forced into the Caribbean and Latin America, they brought drums, dances, and spiritual fire. That fire ignited genres we now call Latin and Caribbean music. From Celia Cruz to Tito Puente, from Shabba Ranks to Bad Bunny, it's all powered by the African heartbeat. Today's Latin pop stars ride waves created centuries ago by Black hands. And genres like Afrobeats, dancehall, and reggaeton are now blending in ways that unite continents. Because Black rhythm doesn't just influence the world, it is the world's rhythm. So the next time you press play on your favorite song, remember, you're not just hearing music. You're hearing Black history, Black genius, and Black resilience. If this moved you, subscribe to My Blackness 100, drop a comment, and share this video. Let's keep our culture alive and our stories heard. Until next time, stay loud, stay proud, and stay tuned.